Why did you decide to join the program?
Simply because I needed to get some discipline into losing weight. And that was the main motivator. There are other smaller motivators, but that was my big motivation, was around my weight. For a number of reasons, both work-related and home-related, where my diet had got out of control, too many takeaways, and I was hitting all-time highs in terms of weight, which I was really unhappy about. I was feeling very self-conscious of my weight, of my body. Didn't feel I ever could look good in sort of, smart clothes, that sort of stuff. Yeah, not feeling good about it at all. So sort of low on self-esteem as well.
How was work around that time?
Work was very, very stressful. Company was going through a turnaround. I was working very long hours, hence why coming home late at night. No desire to be preparing my own food at that point in time. My wife was overseas because we had building work going on as well. And she normally obviously would prepare food and control diets to a large extent anyway. And so that control was also absent for the best part of 3 months. And therefore I was spiraling out of control. High stress and probably therefore drinking more than I should have done as well.
So you decided to join the program?
I did, and I've looked at these sorts of things before and never done it. I'm always worried about the cost and would it be worth it. You said something like, let's have a half-an-hour chat. I'm not going to try and sell you anything.
And how was that chat?
Well, at the end of the day, you're admitting that you can't control something, or it's out of control, even though there might be good reasons or understandable reasons. Let's put it that way. They're not good reasons, understandable reasons. You are effectively saying, I need help. And sometimes for some people, of which I guess I'm definitely one, asking for help is not the easiest thing in the world.
What were your results?
My results were great, as far as I'm concerned. I'm much happier with where I am now. I'm, in my old language, I'm nearly 2 stones lighter than I was sort of from my peak to where I was a week or so ago. And that makes me feel completely different. I have children in their 20s who've said, you look the best you've looked in years, Dad. I'm fortunate enough to have a property overseas with a swimming pool, so I was not embarrassed to be in my shorts around the swimming pool with friends, guests, etc. So it had a huge impact, huge positive impact.
What's the difference between how you feel now and how you felt 3 or 4 months ago?
I guess it's very easy with my male friends who are all in their mid-50s to see a lot of people who are not in control and are getting very large, and it feels good to be in control, or to feel I'm in control, and to not be doing that. I mean, I'm 6'2". I was a prop forward. I'm one of those guys who's going to be prone to, I think, putting a lot of weight on very easily. But it feels good to have control on that, new insight into that, new methods for coping with that, knowing that you can still, enjoy yourself, but then get control again in the, few days of the week afterwards, so that you're not spiraling in the wrong direction effectively. So I'm surprised. I've surprised myself, but I'm really pleased. No, I don't think there was anything that was particularly difficult. I think the best thing about it was the element of, we're not going to diet here, we're going to change habits effectively. So getting going, we had to find some methods, didn't we? And so it was just about finding ways to make things happen that you wanted to have happen in a busy life. I don't feel like I've dieted drastically. I don't feel like I've gone on a huge exercise regime that's taken over my life. My conclusion from that would be, we've achieved what you said we would achieve, which is we're going to change some habits and improve things naturally that way. And the whole essence here is that this needs to be permanent, not temporary. And my perspective on a lot of things has changed. And it's small, lots of small things. It's not 2 or 3 major things.
What does your wife think?
My wife is very happy. She doesn't know what we talk about, and
No.
it's a bit of a mystery to her, but she doesn't care too much because she knows it's working. She's really pleased because she's been, as most wives are, on me about this quite correctly for quite some time. You know, it's nice to be able to look in the mirror and not think, you know, that I'm overweight.
So what would you say to someone who's thinking about joining the program?
I would, not too surprisingly, say it's definitely worth doing. There's no, perhaps the hardest bit to understand is that there's no great one thing that's going to happen that's going to make everything change. It's a gradual process. It's not a diet. You're not on a diet. That's the good thing. You know, you're changing your lifestyle, and I think the accountability is a massive motivator. Well, it certainly was for me, and I'm sure it must be for a lot of people. And the best thing is when people say, "Blimey, you look good."
Yeah, how does that make you feel? Oh,
it makes me feel 110%. Makes me feel great. And I'm wearing some clothes that I hadn't worn for a while because I couldn't get into them. So that's good. And some shirts that, you know, you could get into, but you didn't think, you know, look great. Now you can wear them. And it's a really good feeling. It's a really good feeling. What would I say to somebody? I'd say, you got to go for it and find out. And a very high percentage of people are successful because it's not about huge changes. So it's not as hard as people might think.